Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Years ago, these used to be welcoming words to the mass immigration to the Western democracies of the United States and even Canada. Yet, in these troubled times, immigration no longer tends to be the enemy within. It tends to be more internal, bad economic socialist policies and the unwillingness to talk about the smoking elephant in the corner of the room. Millions upon millions of North Americans are facing homelessness with looming rent crisis. Unpaid rent is piling up to the tune of billions of dollars that, in all likelihood, will mostly not be paid. This, combined with unprecedented state, federal, and local debt, in conjunction with corporate debt, student loan debt, and mortgage debt, is a ticking time bomb that is actually a true crisis for the sovereignty of all Western nations. Few politicians have the actual courage to discuss this, let alone deal with the looming problem. The current economy in North America has decoupled itself from the fundamentals. Stock market indices are performing very well, which is not a reflection of the true economic chaos that we're facing. But the looming debt crisis and the looming homeless crisis will definitely be a struggle, especially in the months to come. With the new upcoming promises of a Biden presidential administration, I have deep and concerned fears that the promises of the Democratic Party will not come to be. In fact, the overpromising of prosperity by the Biden administration to solve all these looming issues will inevitably blow up in their face.
Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen of the welfare state have told us they have a utopian solution of peace without victory.
Too many people in the 21st century tend to look to government for prosperity and for stability, when in fact they should actually look to themselves and the rugged individualism that capitalism offers. With housing prices rising in spite of mass unemployment and public debt, the decoupling and dismantling of the economy continues. Ratios of house prices versus income continues to move beyond 12-1 in many markets. In cities such as Vancouver and Las Vegas, the price of home ownership continues to rise in spite of mass unemployment due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The willingness of both individuals and government to take on more debt during these unprecedented times are alarming, especially in light of looming tax and spend liberal fiscal policy. It seems there is a collective willingness to kick the can down the road and hope for the best. But the problems with debt and poor financial policies is that eventually things must be repaid and the musical chairs game of job loss creeps into our daily lives. Cities were not prepared to deal with the homeless prior to the epidemic, and they will be even less so prepared for the millions more of homeless that will be coming soon.
And even if you compare this with the Great Depression started in 1929 with a stock market crash, but the depth of the Great Depression started only in 1932-33. So initially it was a stock market crash, and then the mistaken response to it led it to become the Great Depression. So this is just something we've not really seen before. It's a bit like as if an asteroid had hit the Earth, and not just one economy or the other. Sometimes we have a recession in the US, but not in Asia, or one in China, but not in Europe. Right now, pretty much every region in the world is gone into a free fall of economic activity. So it's unprecedented in the speed, in the depth, and into the global reach of it. So this is something much more severe than we've seen before.
The continual exportation of jobs to China for a large proportion of consumer goods will only serve to hurt job growth and economic recovery. And everyone who buys from China only hurts their own country, whatever nation you call home. And I don't apologize as a conservative to remind everyone that the best social program ever devised was a job. Jobs and a solid tax base is the only path you can rely on for an economic recovery. And so the tax and spend continues in pretty much all Western democracies as the unfunded promises of pensions, Medicare, Medicaid, and debt service continues.
Mr. Speaker, all levels of income are better off than they were in 1979. But what the honourable member is saying is that he would rather the poor were poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That way you will never create the wealth for better social services as we have. And what a policy! Yes, he would rather have the poor poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That is a liberal policy. Yes, it came out, he didn't intend it to.
The hope given to the left-wing voters by the Biden administration promises much. But we will see very soon that the reality of being unable to deliver a strong recovery is looming. The answer is not in government. The answer is within the people to quit exporting their jobs to their enemies, such as in China. After all, in hard times, shouldn't your focus be on buying either domestically or with your allies versus those who work to undermine your economy in Asia? With the millions facing eviction and homelessness in 2021, the streets will only become more dirty and dangerous. Civil disobedience from radical left-wing groups will only increase. Do not expect miracles from government to solve this problem. They couldn't fix the problems during the prosperous good times. Do you really think they can fix them now? I sincerely doubt it.
Unless we realize we're in a war that must be won.
The establishment is digging into armored bunkers, mainly in New Zealand, where Obama is getting his bunker ready.
And everybody knows that there's a possible trapdoor underneath that apparent free gift of cheap labour. And I don't think I need to state it any more dramatically than that.
And now, a non sequitur moment.
Busted.
Can go to figure out what we've done, what we need to do. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you.